Good morning. And great to be here. Here we go. So welcome to the North American Leadership Series. Glad you are here. Got a great guest today, Shelley Johnson. We believe Craig's coming. We hope. They're amazing. So Shelley, Craig, are you guys here? Come on up on stage. If you are here, come on up. Don't be shy. And can you guys hear me okay? I think people are typing good morning. So I think I'm looking in the chat box. Sam's typing thumbs up. Okay, everyone can hear me good. And then let's see. Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Shelley, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. And there's Craig. Hey, Craig, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brent. How are you?
Good. Are you and Shelley together? Or are you at different locations?
We're
Slightly different.
What's that mean? You're at the office, but different parts of the office?
correct.
I love it. I love it. Well, welcome. You guys have a good Christmas holiday, all that good stuff?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome year.
Love it. Where are you? Give me a split personality. You're on each side. Okay.
Well, he was standing inside of me, and I didn't like that.
It was too. Craig always chase you down and really bug you. Go stand right next to her. That's hilarious. So, where did Craig go? Did you go sit in a chair? Craig, get over here.
Yeah.
I'm navigating. Hang on.
You're navigating. We got to work on your navigation skills, man. So, Shelley, you have smart glasses on. So smart.
I really do have glasses now.
That's awesome. So do I. I'm not wearing them though, so honestly, you guys are all totally blurry. Well, let's get this party started. So happy New Year to you. Happy welcome to the boring 2020. I'm talking to you and Craig, Shelley.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're excited about them here. Sorry, we're like a little off base, but we'll get there.
It's fine. It's fine. So to everyone in the audience, why don't you give them your kind of a 1-2 minute overview of your real estate careers and where you were and where you are today. Take 2, 3, 4 minutes. Tell them a little
Greg,
bit about
want me to start or you want to start?
You go ahead and start, Shelley.
Okay. So I started in 2004 as a realtor, and then I did fairly well in Maryland where I started, and then I decided to move to North Carolina. That's where we are now. And went through the recession, started a new business, 2011-ish. Craig and I partnered and built a team called LePage Realty Group in Charlotte, North Carolina. And basically we've gone from no sales or very little sales, maybe $4 million each, in volume, to now we're hitting $85 million in combined production. This year we doubled since we left KW 2.5 years ago and joined EXP.
Wow, that is awesome. So, Craig, what did Shelley miss? She did a pretty good job. Anything you want to add to that?
To tell you the truth, I got sidetracked and Kelly was talking to me. So she knows everything that we do, and I'm sure that is exactly what happened. I am just super pumped to be a part of this company, be teamed up with Shelley and our entire team. We have an awesome group. We have doubled the size of production of our team since we've been in EXP Realty. I'm sure we could elaborate on that as we talk and go along, but it's been a wild ride, and I'm pumped to be here.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yep, that's pretty much what Shelley said. Now, this meeting is not about sales or production goals or anything like that. It's all about how to build your revenue share monthly, how to acquire more stock in the company, basically about growth and building an organization so you don't have to grind so much. So that's what we're going to elaborate on today. Thank you for being willing to help me, you guys. So real quick, tell us what it was like when you first saw the plan a few years ago, and I think AJ and Abby shared the plan with you, and what your reaction was. And then I believe the first thing you guys did was get on a plane and fly across America to San Diego, to an island off the coast of California, Coronado Island, to meet all these crazy EXPers and decide for yourself if this was the real deal or a bunch of weirdos. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what it was like as you got started, what your thought process went through, and who wants to go?
Well, I'll start, and I'll start in the beginning, and then I'll flip it off to Shelley, where kind of where we took off to San Diego. So we were at an event in Charleston, South Carolina, and Shelley and I are always trying to think ahead of the curve for our team and our business. And long story short, she leaned across the table at dinner one night when we were with our team at that event and said, we're only as good as our next sale. And, we need to do something above and beyond where we are right now. We were at Keller Williams. We had nothing against Keller Williams. We really didn't use much of their systems or any of their systems. We just basically were producing business and doing our own thing. So we decided we were going to have this good idea and start a boutique and, come up with different programs that gave back to our agents above and beyond their next sale. So we were, just brainstorming about things like matching a 401k bonuses and having, bonuses within production, within the team, and just trying giving people opportunity within our team above and beyond their next sale. And so we were gung-ho on doing that. We came back, we started looking at space, and by chance, AJ Maida, who many of you may know, had left Keller Williams about 7-8 months before that, and we thought he was kind of doing his own thing, and then he had an office across the parking lot from us at Keller Williams, and I bumped into him in the parking lot one day, and he said, "Hey, if you and Shelley ever decide on leaving Keller Williams, you should really look at this company. I'm a part of it. It's totally different." And that by chance, that was literally like 2 or 3 weeks after we were at this event. So just being open-minded, and thank God I was open-minded, I said, "Yeah, what do you got?" He's like, "I'm going to send you this webinar. Take a look at it and let me know what you think." I did that, and I was completely blown away because this really mirrored a lot of what Shelley and I were talking about, but of course on a much larger scale. So I wanted to show Shelley this webinar. It took a couple days to get her to watch it. And then once we watched it, we reached out to AJ, and AJ did the right thing by creating a third-party validation and told us he would get us in touch with some guy named Brent Gove. And I'll leave it to Shelley from that spot. What happened then, Shelley?
So Brent set up a FaceTime with us. We were sitting at lunch together, planning to meet this guy Brent, and he did the FaceTime. He started to share the company with us and gave us some good nuggets about the company. And of course, Brent's dynamic and he's very nice. So he said, "You guys, you know what?" He was brave and bold. And he said, "Rather than me sit here and try to explain this company to you, I'm going to ask you to come to our shareholders meeting." And I'm thinking, okay, well, where is that? And he says, "Well, it's in Coronado, California. It's a beautiful place and French style." He made it really attractive. We needed to go there, which it is. And he said, "You guys really need to come out and look at this, meet the leaders, get to know everybody, and see what we're really about." And I tell you what, that really made Craig and I think. And he said, "I'll even pay for your room." And I'm like, wow, this guy's really willing to put his money where his mouth is. And he said, "It's changed my life. I left my 400 agent. He was a team leader at KW, and I have a $125 million producing team." I'm like, this guy does a lot of business. Sounds like he's really respected in the industry. And we probably ought to maybe think about it, but we really weren't serious. And we both went home, came back to work the next day, and we're like, we need to go. It was like 4 days notice. He's like, "Oh, it's next week." I'm like, "Next Thursday. We need to come in on Wednesday night." So we did. And from there, go ahead. Brent, tell them what happened.
Yeah, so what happened? Tell them what happened. You got airplane tickets and flew out.
We flew out, and Brent said, "You know what? I'm going to put you with some folks that are really going to help you understand this company." And it was interesting because it was really he was very hospitable, but he made sure we got he matched us with people that would understand our business and where our pain points would be, and got us to talk to. And we were fortunate, Jason guessing. At the time, the company was only 2,300 agents or 2,600 agents, something in there. And it was, there was only 300 people at our shareholders meeting. So it was interesting to listen to it. But the big thing that really stood out to me was when Gene Frederick stood on stage. And Gene said, "I've already done all the vetting for you. I'm a CFO at Texas Instruments. I was, and I've poked all the holes, and he told us a story about him owning the 6 franchises and being a regional owner at KW. And I remember thinking, wow, that's something I would have loved to have had an opportunity. Like, there was a guy in our region that was the regional owner, and that was like the coveted thing to have, was to be a regional owner. And for him to leave that and come to this company was certainly a bigger risk than anything Craig or I were going to do ever. So we looked at it as a no-brainer with all the opportunity with the stock and everything else that everybody knows about. And we came back and we introduced it to our team, and we just went on gangbusters.
Okay, so before we tell them, there we go. So before we tell them what you did, I want everyone to notice, hey, I didn't offer to pay for their airfare, because airfare could be $200-300, it could be $1,700, $1,200. I offered to pay for the living pay for room. It's this beautiful resort, the Marriott, Coronado Island. We had a convention discount of like $119 a night. So, hey, never pay for the airfare. Always safe. But I'll even pay for your hotel room. You know what the number's going to be. So if you can stretch a little, I don't always do that, but I did that. And then number 2, Shelley, Craig, could I have sold you over the phone and kind of help you get it the way being there at that event helped you get it? I think the event does the heavy lifting, but what was the impact of that event for the 2 of you?
The impact
Well,
Richard.
no, I would just say, like, it was eye-opening. I think talking to the people around us and asking questions and poking holes, and then ultimately throughout those 2 days being in that environment, when hearing everybody's stories and where they came from and the sacrifices that, that we thought they made, even though that, looking back now, there was really no sacrifice. It was, a huge jump forward. But at the time, like Shelley said, there was only 2,600 agents in the company. So, we were kind of put in that same position at that time. And I don't think we would have done it, to Brent's point, if we did not get in front of those people and that energy. We would have ultimately done it, but it might have been 6 months, a year later, and that would have, been a different story, different path, of course.
Shelley, how about you?
I completely agree. I feel like we would have done it 6 months later. It would have put our plan further down the road. And getting in front of people who have the energy, and you can feel our company when you go to one of these events. That's what's so important about everybody. Go to these events, get your organizations to go to these events. Brent and the group, when you're there, you just get on fire with it, and you start to realize that it's for you. It's not just for somebody else. And Brent, as amazing as he was on the phone, he didn't try to sell us on the phone. His entire goal was to move our bodies and put us in another location where we could actually focus on this company. And had he not done that, we would have went back to our desk, went back to selling more homes, and we would have said, we'll go maybe in September when they have their next event. Well, that would have put us further down the road, which would have not been good for us long term.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a body mover. I'm a people mover, baby. Go ahead. You were going to say something?
I would say that, that's a lesson that I think, we kind of knew, Shelley and I knew from the past, but it really took it to another level. And the lesson is to be plugged in and get plugged in and go to the event and be in that environment. Yes, the events themselves and being on stage and listening to the speakers is very important and moving, and you pick up great insight. But, I always say the magic happens in the hallway. The magic happens at, lunch and at the bar at night and at breakfast, and those relationships. And it really drives you to another level as far as what you pick up from what people are doing in their market. And it is like tenfold in this company because we're shareholders and we all are working together to grow this company. So people are wide open with what they're willing to tell you and help you with. And it goes way beyond just an event. So go there, make the relationship, get plugged in, and just adds another level of energy in business building.
It's interesting, Craig, is Coronado Island off San Diego is about 400 miles from where I live. What if I had decided, it's not convenient, I don't have the money, blah, 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 blah. You think I could have convinced the two of you to fly there when I wasn't going myself, right? Obviously, no, correct?
No.
Correct.
And then B, because I was going, I had the conviction, the moxie to get you there. You know, paying $119 for your room wasn't a big deal. Little did I know you guys weren't married. You each wanted your own room. That was funny. You told me, oh, don't forget, we're not married. We each need our own room. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, I do that. It's Brent Gove, Shelley Johnson in California. Their last names at the time, so I should have asked. I just assumed you guys were married. You are married to other people. But anyways, I think Craig is Shelley's office husband.
Yes.
Poor Craig.
Okay, so Wilson, when you gotta go? How many people do you think were there at that Marriott? Like 400 or 500 maybe at event?
Yeah, I think it was 400 or something.
So in Puerto Vallarta coming up here in a month, 3 weeks, there'll be 900 in another event. And youth street phones going off online. There is stuff. So I'm at Stroop's house. We ran out of time to get to the office, so we got our feet up, we got our shoes off, and we're walking the streets living room. We're neighbors. Okay, so back to this. You got to go. Have we ever missed anything? I mean, come on, there had to be something we missed. What? We ever missed anything? That's crazy. So we go to everything. We're always bringing people with us. We're people movers. We're body movers. We're decent cats. We're moving bodies and people. But we're vision. The events do the heavy lifting. It's so powerful. Major decisions are made at major events. So it's all I'm focused on is Puerto Vallarta. I'm focused on it. I know what that'll do. And then from there, I'll switch gears to be shareholders in April in Florida. And then from there, it'll be my event in May, then the one in August. So let's tell them. We haven't told them what you did. Some people know your story. A lot of people don't. We've got almost 50 people in here this morning. So you came back from that event, and your first year, how many people did you sponsor in the EXP that first 12 months?
Good, Shelley.
So the first 12 months, we sponsored 20 people.
Nice. And then those people started telling people, right?
Right. It grows. I remember hitting the 20. That was a big deal. It seems like that's a big deal to hit that number. And I remember hitting them all. But I remember that, and I remember we hit like 150 people, and it's like just kind of, you started to see it snowball.
Yeah. So those 20 people, I always tell people, if you want a vineyard, you got to plant some vines. So you planted 20 vines, you started growing that vineyard, and a year later, how many people did those 20 lead you to?
We were around, a year later, we're probably around 700, around 400 or 500 people.
400 or 500 people. And then how about now? It's been a couple of years. How many do you have in the group now?
We're
1,350.
1,350. That is awesome. And how many have you sponsored so far now? It's been a little over 2 years. How many sponsored?
around 32.
32.
32 qualifiers, 31 overall.
Okay, good. The 32 FLQA. So, Shelley, you're like 32. I'm like, no, 41. It's not 41.
Craig has to bring
I want my sponsor 41. That's that my sponsor. Shelley, if they're not selling homes, it's like, well, okay, so this year, hope to get over 40 by the end of the year. And how many do you hope to have in your organization?
I think we can hit 2,000 this year.
Okay.
2,500 would be awesome. If we were able to get getting on 2,500 would be an awesome number.
Right
so we're
on.
just building. We're helping everybody all over. Where we have our leaders in different areas, helping everybody.
Nice. And then get over 40 FLQA.
Right.
And then are you hoping to make like 1.5 to $2 million, something like that in rev share?
Yep.
Beautiful. And you still have a team that is doubled in volume from 40 million to 80 million. And you're rocking. So you still have all your income from real estate sales.
Right.
That's awesome. Okay, so that was kind of the whole story. So if you're talking to somebody in this audience, and you are, let's say somebody wants a breakthrough. They're here like, man, what do I got to do to make this thing happen? What would you recommend to them? What did you do in real estate, and what did you do to build your EXP organization? I think they were probably very similar in philosophy, but go ahead. I'll let you say it. I don't know. Go ahead.
Relationships is everything. So in meeting people where they are, not meeting them where you are, was big for me. So like if somebody's going through a divorce, I try to know where people are in their life, and then they may not be able to come right now, but I'm helping them realize that it is for them over a period of time.
Gotcha. So you stay in relationship with them, and you're just waiting for the right timing for their gate to be open, like Gene Frederick says. And when it does, you're right there.
And invite them to everything, events. Help everybody, help the whole organization. With us, if you help everybody wins. And then as people win, and you keep doing your production, and you just keep showing up the right way, people are attracted to that. When you're always doing the best you can do, they want to be a part of that.
Beautiful. Craig, how about you? What are some things that you've noticed? Is that exactly it, or you want to add to that?
Well, I would say a couple of things. I think, to kind of go down the path that Shelley was on. I mean, we've built our entire business on relationships and exposure. I think those are the two value points that we focus on a lot. So relationships are huge, and then staying in touch with them through exposure and touching on them is huge. But, we always tell people from an EXP standpoint in growing your organization, if this is a great opportunity for anybody that's a realtor. So, I mean, even if you attracted one or two people and, you started generating $300 in revenue share a month, and you took $100 and put it towards your family, and that would be a positive. And then you took $200 and put it towards your business is obviously going to grow, because that's $200 that's not coming out of your business profit. So whatever level you create that at, whether it's a $300 or $1,000 a month, and you break that up, it's going to change your life and change your business. And I think that goes for anybody in this business. So if I said I was going to give you $300 that's not coming out of your real estate business profit to build your business every month, would you think that'd be beneficial? Well, obviously it would. But that's what this model allows agents to do. You don't have to dip from as much of your real estate production in order to feed your business and grow it. So look at it that way.
I love it. So, what advice, like when you say you stayed in a relationship, if somebody go, you have lunch with them all the time? Maybe that's part of it, and you need them for coffee? Did you ever help them with lead generation, or teach them what it was you knew? Maybe you're not great at radio or TV, but you're great at marketing or lead generation through farming or whatever. What do you mean by, how did you stay in relationship? What does that even mean? I think it means a lot of things to a lot of people, but what did you guys?
When I would talk to an agent, I would try to find out what their business was first, like how they're making it, and listen to them and ask them to uncover where pain points could be, and then look for solutions in our company of what we have to offer solution wise. Like we have the CRM, that would make a difference, and then helping them realize that they could do, see what their goals are and help them hit those goals. And then when they did join us, we were building. Craig and I built a training program here at the office, and we just keep building and helping everybody. And the word gets out that you're not just in it for agent attraction.
Right. So, you'd help them even if they stayed in Coldwell Bank or Remax and Keller Williams. Is that right?
Absolutely. So if we have an agent that we're friends with, and you start telling them, all the things you're doing in your business, that you're good at, like you said. And they start going, oh my gosh, I can't believe they shared that with us. And Craig even went as far as helping someone start another business with in our industry with something else. He built a relationship, and they're not with EXP yet, but he helped them build this other side business to make them $20,000 to $40,000 this year. So wherever we can find ways to help improve someone's life. That's what we do, whether they're with us or not.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, help them, support them in any way you can. And then when the timing's right, if it ever is right, you're right there to help them, right?
100%. But the key is to stay in relationship. I mean, if you talk to somebody and they don't come, you don't talk to them for 4 months, they could call and they could decide, they decide that the timing's right, but they're going to, you know what? I had a relationship with this other person, I'm going to work with them because they showed me more value. It's just like a listing. When a listing, you go to a listing appointment, the person may not be ready because of a job, if their job's not quite ready for them, if they're moving to Chicago, and you forget about them, and another listing agent comes along, potentially then that person could become their person. So it's no different with agents. You have to stay in relation. You have to keep showing up the right way and giving value.
I love it. So, Craig, you and Shelley have 1,300 plus people headed to 2,000 plus, maybe 2,500 this year. Make 1.5 to 2 million in revenue share. Awesome, wonderful success story. What have you noticed? The agency organization notices. It's the 80-20 rule. It's not a bad thing. 20% of the agents are doing it. 80% are just grinding, selling homes. Help people always think, if everyone's just recruiting and attracting HNXP, who's going to sell the homes? The problem is the opposite. People into the business selling homes, they don't take the time to attract and recruit. It's hilarious. I wish we had the first problem. We don't. But for those that are building and having success in attracting agents, what are the two you notice that they do that's maybe like what you're doing or different? Like, what is it they do that's causing them to have success for the ones who are succeeding in your 1,300 agents? What have you noticed?
I would definitely say that it's like I said before, just getting plugged in and helping them, reaching out to them on a normal basis and asking them how they could help. And then a part of exposure that we're also talking about and keeping in a relationship, it's kind of just like the internet lead that we get for a buyer. It might be a one-sided relationship for quite a while, but believe me, they're watching you. They're watching you on social media. They're looking at what you're doing with your business and your production, because their company might be saying like, hey, if you go to that company, your production's going to go down and it's going to be terrible because they act in fear. So they all are watching. So one of the things I would do is when you're at a big event or even an event like this, take a picture of your screen and just post it. Like, hey, I was out, in this mastermind group today of, 50 agents from around the country, and people were telling how they're helping their business and how they can help us. And that's super unique. I love this company and this is exciting, and they see that if you're at an event that's local, post that and just say, this is so exciting. Don't say this is the greatest and we're the best. And, just talk about the opportunity and that you're humbled by it. But the bottom line is just to help others and continually reach out and see how you can help them with their business. And like Shelley said earlier, listen to what's important to them. So if right now building their business is the most important thing, then help them build their business. Don't try and, beat them over the head by agent attraction. Let that come when it's their time. And maybe ask them if there's any time I can ever help you with an introduction or hop on a Zoom call. Shelley does it all the time. I do it over the time. Hop on a Zoom call and just talk to someone because we relate to that person or that team, then offer that up as well.
I love it, Greg. That was beautiful. By the way, it's so funny. You guys talked about earlier when you were with AJ, you were on that sidewalk cafe. You guys were outside. I remember, I think it was either Zoom or honestly, it might have been, it was a Zoom call. But I remember seeing your face, seeing you outside with the beautiful, partly cloudy blue sky behind you. Do you guys remember that? I remember that.
I remember that vividly.
Yeah.
Because I remember trying to take it all in and try to understand this company and, figure out who Brent Gove is, and little did I know you'd be like a brother.
I know. That's awesome. So, Shelley, what have you noticed in your group that are doing well? What sets them apart? What's making them succeed with agent attraction?
I've noticed that, like, for instance, our Charlotte market's done really, really well. Lance and I think Barry are in the audience as well. We talked to Lance and Barry earlier while they were waiting. Everybody's just kind of taking ownership of they say in their gift. So like one of the things I think is we have the lunch and learns, which are hugely helpful. That Bill has really championed that, and doing events where we support each other and having the opportunity, and also connecting those agents to their upline. So like, don't try to carry it yourself. Do your when you present it to someone, don't just like vomit on them. Like, people need to feel important and need to feel like that you're going to make an effort to connect them to someone that may be able to help them even better than yourself. And I know I leaned on Brent heavily when we first started on this. Probably should still be doing it. But it's nice and looking for people that they can relate to. Like someone said earlier today, hey, I have someone that's going to do a boutique, but I think it was Lance. I have someone who's thinking about doing a boutique. I think that sounds familiar. I'm going to try and get them on the call with you and Craig, or do a Zoom with you and Craig. I love that. So that's a great way to just like not be a lone ranger and try and do it all yourself, because there's so many great resources in our organization to help each other, and all you need is to put your hand up. And they ask for support and help. They don't try to stay alone and feel like they're bothering us. There's no such thing as bothering Craig or I or anybody in our up team. Everybody wants to help and support, and that's why we keep trying to do the things we do. We even have, like Lance, we're all doing an event this weekend, and we're having fun. We're showing on social media that we're having fun together, and we had a great Christmas party, and we're going to do a checkers game this weekend, and everyone's trying to collaborate and work together and then lean on each other. That's a big piece of being successful together.
I love it, man. Well, you and Craig have been great guests today, man. I love what you had to share. It's really solid, good stuff. Hey, I want to wrap up today just with one announcement. You all heard letters of intent are back. They were gone for 2 years, but we get a letter of intent for a broker who's maybe shut down a franchise, but takes them 2, 3, 4, 5 months to shut down that franchise. They get a letter of intent and start sponsoring people tomorrow. The past 2 years, they've had to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 months to shut down that franchise. Now they don't. Of course, we need to encourage them to get legal advice from the appropriate franchise attorney. But people who own property management companies, but now, if you get someone who's super sharp in the middle of getting their license, they can get an LOI like tomorrow. Now, in 28 states, it sails right through. And the balance of the states, we could still get them through. California's one of those states. There's a problem with the Department of Real Estate. We can still get OSIs in California. If you fill it out through the process now, you're going to get rejected. But if you reach out to me and Chris Bear, we can get you, put them through all 50 states. You can get LOIs through for anybody in all 50 states. Unfortunately, because of some state laws, it's only approved in 28 states where it sails right through. The other ones you have to put through manually. So don't give up. It's like throwing gasoline on your business. Letters of intent are amazing. People could sign up and start reaching out to people they know. And by the time they start, they could have 20, 30, 40, 50 people in their group, 80, 100 people in their group. Pretty exciting way to start. So just wanted to end with that. Craig, Shelley, thank you for being on today.
Thank you so much, and appreciate being here.
Right on.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you, everybody.